So you have to understand. Okay, one is if you look at this testing, right? Here I have created at API name, which means I'm exposing this attribute to the external so that any other component like here, and where inside this where I'm using this component, I can set the value into the attribute. That's why it is API at API. Okay. Now that does not mean that it will be visible in the app builder. It will only be visible when you make the changes here. Is expose equal to true, and you will provide the target. Have you done this one?
Yes. Home
But
page
still,
I have activated. App or record page not, but home page I have done that.
and you are not seeing in the home page?
No.
Okay, then I think you must be doing something wrong that we have to check. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, I didn't catch the wrong.
yeah, that's fine. Uh,
Suman, she
yeah,
actually told earlier that she failed to authorize an org. So how
what?
can she be? She told earlier that she failed to authorize an org from LWC
Oh, right,
yesterday.
right. Yeah, you are right, Vikas. So,
So
yeah, if it
how
is not
can she?
authorizing the
Hmm.
or, in that case, you won't be able to um,
Yes,
push the
see the
code into
point.
the or.
Mhm. Yes, definitely that is the point.
I am trying to authorize it, but whenever I'm just clicking on Command Shift P and type authorize, so it's the option is not showing.
Yeah, you have to say sfdx greater than then uh, the command. So see, I mean it comes when you use the command frequently, right? So if you don't see it, see, sorry, sfdx colon authorize an org.
Yeah.
You have to write like this: sfdx colon
No,
authorize. Okay.
not getting. Only five options are there. One is create project with manifest, create and set up project for ISB debugging, create project, do not
Okay,
scope it.
we'll see that. We'll see that. I think it is a specific problem to your machine.
Oh,
We will. Okay, don't worry. Let us not hold the whole team.
no, it's so.
Okay, so now just to recap, we have talked about all these styles in our last class, and we are using the kebab case that you have seen how we are using. We did the hello world, we did the files, we added the styles, we use the JavaScript uh, JavaScript file also. We saw um, how we made the properties reactive. You saw how we use the public properties, right? Now, uh, let's say if I come here, uh, so you see when I edit the page, right? Uh, so see how wonderfully let's say if I drag the rich text box. So you see this rich text box, right? The rich text box and any other component you see, it has a wonderful image on the left side. But if you see ours, it is just shows the lightning. So if you keep on creating multiple web component and expose them for expose them to use in the app pages, in that case you will see this this icon in all your component that you are creating. But you see in all these you have different schemes that use. So let me do one thing. if I want to, let's say, expose them in my home page, copy paste. I do for this one also, right? Deploy source to all. And if I go back here and then do a refresh, I'll see two items. I'll see two items here now. But see, all the icons look same. So more, I mean, no matter how many custom component you create, all the icons will look similar. So this could be okay for you guys, so that it is in your application and you are using it. But look at all these. They have exposed with a nice icon and color, so that it can be identified separately, right? This is one aspect. And second one is, if I drag this rich text box, you see they have given the parameter here rightly, right? Now also, if I say list view, in the list view, you see, I mean, we can provide input here, right? So these are nothing but the API attribute of this component, but in a UI way, you are entering the values. So just try to understand the difference here, right? If you look at this in the hello world, so what I have done is, in the hello world, I have through the code I have used this component, and I have set the name here into this item name. But here in this example, what I'm doing is, this API name has been exposed through the UI, so that you can provide the name in the UI. So we'll see that now. So we talked about two things. One is how to use the API names here in the UI, and the second is the icon that is looking similar in my case, but in other standard case, it is looking different. Okay, so let's see how we can leverage that. So let me do one thing. So tell me, guys, if I want to have a, let's say, if I want to declare a API attribute in the hello world and want to display here, what do I do? Any suggestion? Any input? So the question is, I want to create one API attribute called greeting, and then I want to just display the greeting here.
So
Can
the
someone tell me?
yes, in the JavaScript file, we need to expose that attribute with the help of API decorator. And in the HTML file template side, we need to put that.
For that, what I have to do is I have to import
Yes,
the API first,
yes,
right?
yes, import the API first. Yes,
And then
Yes.
what I do, I will do
API space
at the
greeting.
red API greetings.
greeting, okay? And when I want to use this greeting into my hello world, I will do what? I have to
Braces.
use
Put it in the
this
braces.
so that it can be shown here, right? So let me deploy this. See, these are very interesting things. I mean, once you understand, if you structure the requirement, if you create a picture in your mind how things are being done, these are really very Nice. Okay. So now if I go to the browser and then do a refresh, I'll not see much changes because see, this is the uh, hello world component. I don't see much changes. Okay. Neither I see it here nor in the icon, right? So let's see. I mean, what I can do to make that attribute that I have defined as API can be made visible here. Okay, so let's see here. So that is called the that is called configure the component for the Lightning app builder design attribute. Okay, so how you are designing your attribute is something that um, you have to do. So for that, what I'm doing is if I come here I have to define one other tag called target config, which means I'm targeting the config. Okay, so within the target config, I can have many target configs. Okay, so I'm using one. So let's say if I want, so target config is a collection, and within that target configs, you can have many target config. So what we can do is, uh, so in the target config, it says what target you want to create the properties. Okay, so what I'm doing is I am targeting the home page and the Lightning app pages. Okay, so these two, not the record page. In these two pages, I want to set up the property. Okay, so what property I want to set? I want to set the greetings. So this name has to be matched. Remember, this name has to be matched. And what is the type? Type is the string. So what level it shows, I want to see that as name. So when it is actually greetings in the API, but in the UI in these pages it will display level as name. Okay, and in the name I will have the placeholder called world. Okay, and then let's say hello world. Hello world. Sorry, hello world, and description is something that I'm reading here. Okay, so let's see that first, and then we'll discuss. Okay, so let me go back here. Now, if I hold this one, do you see this now? It was not there, right, before?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what it does is, I want the level to be as name. So I wanted the level to be as name here. So let's say let me change it to name one, for example. Or maybe let's say intern name. So now if I go back here and then do another refresh, what it does is exactly, you see if I just hold this one, it says enter name. Okay, so this is the level. This is the level being shown. in this home page. Now, what this level is, what is this property referring to is the greeting. And what is this greeting? Greeting is this my API attribute. Okay, so the API greeting is connected to this level. It is displayed as this, and this is of type string. That's why it shows a string. You can enter something. Placeholder means by default it is just having a placeholder displaying hello world, and then description is enter a name of the person. So if I hover my mouse here, it says enter the name of the person. See. Okay. Now I have used the API greetings, and the greetings is used here also. So can you tell me why it is not displayed?
Value is not assigned.
It is a property binding.
Property is not assigned. So if I write, say, my hello, my design, now it is showing here, right? Hello, my design. Now, so what is happening? If from external, I am sending the values to the API property of this component, and that component is that attribute is displayed here. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Any question to anyone, from anyone? So now I can, because it is a target configs, I can say like this also. Let's say I have done this one, and then I'm saying, okay, if I'm having Lightning homepage display like this, if I'm using a Lightning app page or the record page, for example, or the record page, sorry, app page or the record page, okay, label is provide name, and then place. I'm changing the values of the attributes. So when you use this component in the home page, you will see the label as this, placeholder as this, description as this. But when you use the same component in these pages, you will see values like this. That's why you can have many target configs used here. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. It's not that complicated. I mean, when you understand this, it would be easy. I'm hoping that the people who are not the developer, I want to hear from you guys also. It's not from the developer only that they will say, yes, I understood, and then we are done. Anyone who has not done the development yet and have done admin, is that clear to you all? Don't think that, okay, I will watch the recording and do it later. You can do the practice later, but you have to understand the concept. You have to picturize the concept, then it will help you go back and then watch the video and then do some hands-on. But is the concept clear to all of you?
Yes.
Yes, clear.
Okay. So what we have seen so far, we now have like this. We now have our component and the API exposed in the design mode. Now let's see how we can change the icon here. Okay. So now if I go back, so this is called SVG. SVG is a vector resource, static vector resource that you can use. And we'll see how we can use it.
It's mainly showing the icon, right? SVG.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is for showing the icon of it like this. I create a file here, so hello world dot they change the location of okay. So you see this one, right? Lightning icon. Now if I reload the file, you see that. Yeah. So do you see this now? The icon is changed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it used to be like this one, right? So based on the type of SVG, SVG is a vector item, which you can, this is a very lightweighted vector um, image which you can use to change the icon for this lightning web component. Hmm. So if you really have a need of um, you have to create this SVG. I mean, the person who creates all the UI design and everything, they would know all this. I don't know much how to create the circle, rectangle, and text and all, right? So these are all a different syntax that you have to use to form the SVG. But I got it ready made. I use this one just to show you how I can leverage that SVG into this one. So if I look at a Lightning Web component, I see two things. One is the hello world CSS and the SVG. These are the two files that you have to create it by you have to create by yourself, because by default Salesforce doesn't let you. I mean, Salesforce doesn't create all these two items, assuming that you may not need it. So if you really if you are really in need of creating the icon for the component, in that case you can use SVG, and if you want to apply any specific style for your component, then you have to use the CSS. Okay, so let's move on. Static resource and level. Static resource and level. What are we doing here? How we can use the leverage the static resource and the level from Salesforce. Okay, so for that, what are we doing? Let's see. Let me create one component. I think the component resource default here. I will just copy paste this portion. And then so let me first add a static resource here. Static resource. Logo. Okay, let me use my transport. I think let's use this one, and then I'll make it public. So it says logo. So what I have to do is, if you look at this example, so what I have done is I have imported. I have to import it. This is a lightning element. I have to import the resources. So what will I do is so you have to import this one first. Okay. So import. Uh, what I'm doing, I'm declaring this variable my logo, and what I'm importing from Salesforce resource and the logo name of the logo that I have uploaded. Okay. So what I have done is, if you look at this one example, just look it carefully. The name is logo. It is in the static resource. Okay. So this is the syntax. You have to say at Salesforce static resource URL, and this is my logo. And then I'm importing that as my logo. We'll use it. And then another, they are creating a level. So let me create a level. If I go here, custom level, if I say new custom level is greeting, name is greeting also, in the category, this is to display custom level. Okay. So my API name of the custom label is the greeting, and this is the value. So what I'll do is, I will I'll again do the same thing. I'll have to import. It's all same strategy. You have to import. I'm importing. Let's say importing as my underscore greeting. My greeting, for example, and from Salesforce level, and then custom dot c dot greeting is my name of the custom level that I'm using. So I have to write C because it's a custom level. So C dot greeting. It is the syntax that you have to remember. Nothing else. So that's how I have imported. So after I imported, what I have to do is, I am just using these two variables. To assign. So what I'm doing is, here these are my two properties, internal properties, not the external property, not the API property, where I am assigning my logo this logo. Okay, and this is my greetings. I'm assigning my greetings. Okay, so what I have done, I have created resources, created the level. I have imported this resource and this level into this name, and then I'm using this to be used in my property. Okay, 3 steps. Okay, now I can simply use this one. If I now go in the HTML, I can just simply write down, sorry, let's say my logo. So I'll use one my logo, and then I will use my logo. Remember one thing, if you have not saved this one, right, you will see a little circle. This circle indicates that you have not saved it. So you have to hit Control S or save so that it can be saved. So the circle is gone now, which means it is saved. So I made the target. If I now deploy the source to the org, let's see what happens. Okay, come here. So now see the static resource is now available. If I now drag here, somehow the logo is not showing up, but uh, this is the display custom level is the custom level is displaying, but not the logo. Maybe the size of the logo is too big. Mm, right. Save. Oops. Oh, I'm so sorry. So I think you have to keep the image source as like this. I cannot simply use the image source as that, right? So what I have to do is, I'm so sorry, guys. I mean, I should have checked this one before. So if I just need to make some arrangement here, it will look good. So lightning card, if I use in my lightning card, I'm saying my level. So if you look at here, my level is what I'm using in my title. Okay, and this image source is something I'm using as this one, my logo. So this is what I can use. Now if I do the deploy, this to the source, it should work. And see if you go here, Salesforce uh, lightning component reference guide, we'll always get the lightning card. If I search for card here, you'll see this card. This is the basic example. You see lightning lightning card title, and under that you can do anything else. You can do whatever you want, right? So you'll see the preview how it looks, but I have used a simple one. So if I go here and if I browse now in the home page, yeah. Do you see this now? Can you guys confirm?
Yes, Umar.
Yeah. So this is coming from my custom level. Okay, and this is the picture. And where is this coming from?
Lightning card icon.
Right. So if you see this one, lightning card icon name. So this is the icon name I'm using. Custom colon custom 19. So if I go to lightning design system and go to the icon, okay, icon. Here you will see, if I search with custom 9, this is what I'm showing. Okay, so let me use this one, custom. I should see a heart sign here. If I change it, if I change it to custom 1 and do a deploy, then come back here, and then you'll see this will change. So this beautiful, beautiful or handsome kid is saving money, and this is the heart sign you see, right? Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. So
Yes, sir.
So how many people we have over here? 11. Okay, I'm hoping that you guys are all understanding all these. Let me know if you don't understand, okay? Please don't wait, or you will not understand in the subsequent things. So now there are directives that you can use, meaning, let's say if you want to do for each loop, or if you want to loop something, or if you want to display uh, the template based on the true or false expression. In that case, you can use you can use this syntax. Okay, so if true the expression, what I have to display. If the expression is false, what I have to display, like that, and then you can use it accordingly. Let me see if I have some examples here. For its context, HTML directives. Okay, so let me go to my, yeah. So let's say if I go here, right, conditional rendering. Hmm. So let me make one for you guys. You will see this one. Let me come here. I think I can show it from the help. Okay, so hello world. JS. Okay. So what I can do is mm, let me create uh, one variable. This is the right example actually. Yes. Yeah, this is a good example. I think I should create a good example. So
hello, Suman. Sorry to disturb.
get in.
So actually, one of my colleague tried to join the meeting. So there is no one admitting him in the meeting.
Uh, I am not the admin though.
Okay,
Is anyone there from the admin side who is recording? Can you?
Hey, hi Vikas. You can say
yes,
to, I think you are asking about the Guru already.
yes, yes.
Yeah, you can say to him, join through Google Chrome, then it will work. Because of I am also facing same problem.
Okay, okay, okay.
Send to him
Thank you.
this link, he will copy paste in Chrome, then it will
Okay,
work.
okay, okay.
Okay. So now, if I come here uh, using these targets as usual, now if I come here, so I'm just doing what? Declaring. Try to see this one. What I'm doing. I'm declaring this variable. Okay. Are details visible? False. Okay. By default, I'm making it false, and and in the handle, I have used a checkbox where I am getting the value of the checkbox and then setting up the value. So which means if I check it, which means if I check the checkbox, what would be the value here? Event target checked. If I check a checkbox, what would be the value of the checkbox?
True.
True. So then the true value would be assigned to this one, this value. Okay, it will not be false anymore. Now again, I uncheck, the value of the checkbox would be false, and then it would be assigned to this value. Okay, so that way it will work. Now if I go here and then go to the HTML and then see what I'm doing. Yeah, I mean, why I'm copying and pasting things, because you don't have to remember all this. If you go here, like, I mean, what I'm doing is you see this lightning card I already have used. I showed you just now, which has a title, and the icon I'm using the 14, or let's say I'm using now 1, which is the heart sign, and then I'm using some deep, and then I'm using this lightning input checkbox. Okay, so if I go here and then say input, so I'll go here, input is, let's say, checkbox. Okay, so you will see all different options, right? So I will use the basic one. So for the basic checkbox, see, the lighting input type is checkbox, level is this, in name is this. So I can copy paste this one into here, so I don't have to remember all these things. So lightning input type is checkbox, level is this, show details, on change is my event, and I'm trying to handle the on change event into my handle change. And where I have handle change written in my JavaScript, if I go here, I'll see the handle change event, and then I'm setting up the checkbox value into this one. Okay, so far I'm doing this one. Now what I'm doing is, this is my conditional rendering. If my template, if true, means if this value is true, then display this portion, otherwise don't display it. Okay, so let me do one thing. I just did this, static resource one, right? So what I can do is, let's say, let me call this one static resource. uh, static hyphen resource. What I'm saying is, if I want to show the detail, then in this template you display something. I'm displaying this, this component. Okay, let's see if it works. I'm saving it and then deploying to the source. Now if I go here, I'm doing the edit page. I don't need this one. Let's say I'm doing the conditional rendering. Okay. Now if I go back, what will it do? Do you see this one?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes,
Yes. Yes.
So in this component, what I'm doing is I'm using this checkbox. Okay. By default, what is the value of the checkbox of the component?
False.
False. By default, it is false. So when the component is loading for the first time, if I go and refresh, I don't see anything here because the checkbox check is false, right? So now, so this template, if true, how it is verifying? This value is false. So if true is not matching, so nothing is displayed. It is not going inside. It is not displaying. Now, when I'm checking this checkbox, this event is generated, and when I go to this event, it tells that change the value from unchecked to check, and then set the value this as true. So it is becoming true now. So it is re-evaluating the value template. So it is now becoming true, and then it is displaying my component. I'll do a pause here. Tell me if you have understood or not. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
Suman.
Yeah. Biplab, is it clear?
Yeah. Yes.
Anuksha Nandi, is that clear to you?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let's move on. So similarly, if I now go here, for example, and then look at the, let's say, for each or any iteration, you can check any of the examples. I don't need to repeat all this. So what it does is it is creating the contact. Okay, so let's do that one. We'll understand this one. So iteration, ITERA, iterator. So iterator. And let's say what I'm doing. So here, if I go, I'll I'll try to. So this is an array I'm defining. Okay. Then this is a JSON structure. Okay. So contact is an array that I'm defining. Okay. And then within the array, this is a sort of representation of a item. So, and it is repeating. Look at this. Okay. So this item has three attributes. One is the ID, and one is the name, and one is the title. Okay. So ID, name, and title. And then I have three. I can have four, let's say. Let me have four items. I gave ID 4, name Animesh Banerjee, and CEO1, for example. So this is the contact that I am defining. Now, how I can use it? Okay. This is the one. So how am I using? So use of this one, I can, let's say, I'm again using a card, lightning card, and then I'm saying hello for each is the title, and then here I am what I'm doing is iterator it. What I'm iterating on? Contacts, which is where it is defined here. So this is my contacts. Okay, I'm iterating these contacts, and then what is the key? It is my for each it, or let's say, let me say for each contact, for example, that would be for each contact. This is my ID, and these are my name and the value title I'm displaying. Okay. So if I deploy this one into my source, and let's say, let me expose that into my hello iterator. Let me expose this to my here, and then deploy. Okay, now if I go back here and then edit page. So if I do hello iterator, you see it is coming, right? So what it is doing is it is taking all the contact name, okay, and then displaying the name and the title, displaying the name and the title, displaying the name and the title in a list. Li means list. So Li means list, and this is being displayed, and it is iterating through all the contacts. Okay. So likewise, you can use the other forms as well. So if you see this one, this was the iterator. You can see the for each also. It is just as same as this one, but it is little bit of differently used. So for each, if I just do this one, let's say, you will not see much difference, but sometimes you use iteration, sometimes you use for loop. It's all same iteration looping. Okay, so for each syntax is different. For each all the contacts. My item name is the contact, and then contact ID, name, and the value. So if I just save it and then deploy to the source, it would be same. It depends on what you are using when, but there is no such advantage or disadvantage. You can use anything. Mostly we use the for each, but you can use the iterations also. Now, if I go here, if I refresh it, it would be same. You will not see any difference because behind the scene it is doing the same thing. So just to repeat what is done here is I have created one contact. Contact is a array list of items, and each items is representing uh, a person with the ID and the title. Okay, so I have made 4 items. If I add one more, it will be shown there. One more, and then here I have used the lightning card. Okay, and then here I'm using the for each template, and I'm iterating the list, and for each contact, each list, I'm displaying the name and the title. Is that clear to all of you?
Suman, I have one question.
Go ahead.
So, told that there is no difference in iterator. Means the iterator and for loop both provide same feature. You mean?
Yeah. They will.
Exactly. Same. So we can consider alternative of for each like iterator. You mean?
Right. I mean, there are, different options that are, if you are using this component in somewhere else, right? So,
Mhm.
these are all different way of, looping through the items, and you can use, you are okay to use any of them. So I think do I have something else? Let me see this one. What is this example? Yeah, this is one another example. It's the same one. I think we don't have to do this one. This file it says. Yeah, I think this is not like it. Okay, so I'll give 1 or 2 minutes break. I'll just come in 1 minute. Okay. Um, think it through whatever we have done so far, and if you have any questions, we can discuss. We have done all these. Just try to think. I'll be back in 1 or 2 minutes.
Suman.
Yeah, I'll be back in 1 or 2 minutes.
Okay, no issue.
Yes, Pal, tell me, what was your question?
Yeah, actually, I want to know that you are able to display the images, but whenever actually I was trying to see the different kind of button as the link you shared, from that link I was trying to check the buttons, different kind of buttons. So in that button there is the like download button, the download sign. So I have totally copied the code and as trying to deploy, but the button name is appeared, but the logo, that is the down arrow logo, that is not appeared. I don't understand why it's not appeared.
Which download button is?
Yeah, it is in the like for, yeah, the button neutral, right icon,
This one?
follow. Or I'm just giving you the link. Wait, the link you have shared last date, right?
Okay.
So
Now, if you are using the lightning button, then it should come.
sorry, I did not.
If you are using the lightning button, give me the link.
Yeah, I have given. I pinged in the chat.
Given, okay. Oh, you are using the designing system. You cannot use the design system. If you use the design system,
Yeah,
what is the download button?
the go to scroll down, please, little bit more, more, more. Yeah. The
This one?
button neutral. Button neutral.
Yeah. So I think the SVG is not working. That's why.
Okay.
You have to set up this into this folder. That's why it is not coming up.
Okay. Yeah, I have some few idea because the folder structure or maybe the image is not
No,
there.
the
So
image is not there. But um, it's still. I think it should use. Uh, I mean, I mean, you mark that right. I mean, there are some problem by using the SVG. I have also seen this one. That's why what I do is I use the download button and then upload that into my static resource, and I don't use the SVG, and then I use that static resource instead. Okay,
okay. Okay.
but I think you don't have to use that one. Here, if I go, why I'm not seeing the download button here? I have used in one of my, yeah. So actually, I use the file upload. If I use the file upload, mm, I see that that is coming. But let me check that one. The download icon, button icon. Here, basic button with icons. Yeah, you see this download.
Yes.
So yeah, you see this base level equal to download, variant equal to base, and then yeah, icon is, see, icon is utility download. So if you
Yes.
use this one, right? Let's say I'm using this.
Okay.
You don't see. You will use. You should use this lightning design system only when if you are making this button, but it is already given by Salesforce now. See, initially when they started, they did not have. I had a lot of projects where I had to create button like this, but nowadays Salesforce is improving. I mean, they have given almost everything in their base component. Okay, so you can directly use it. Now let me go and see. This is my hello iterator, right? So let me let's say I'm making it here. Okay. So I'm saving it and then let me deploy. Yeah, now if I go here, do you see this now?
Yes.
Yeah, so you should use this one actually, not the other one.
Okay. Got
Okay.
it.
Yeah. So see, I mean, strategically, this is, I mean, if you are not understanding all the content simply, which means either I am not explaining you rightly or you are not understanding rightly. Okay. So try to make all your understanding simple. There is nothing complex. Please believe me, there is nothing complex. This is so simple to learn. People just make things complicated. And Salesforce has given everything for you to use. Okay, so first thing you should do is you go to your go to here, edit page, you check what are the standard component you have to use. If it is not there, go create your custom component. Okay, and what does custom component mean? Custom component means displaying things. Maybe sometimes checkbox, sometimes button, sometimes a list, sometimes a table, sometimes like that, right? So when you have all these, then you go and check, if I want to use button, for example, do I have it here? Mostly you will get it. Checkbox, do I have it here? File upload, do I have it here? Lightning accordion, do I have it here? Let's say icons is also here, right? Fields are also here. Okay, spinner, let's say spinner, it is spinning, right? I may have to do like this. So let's try this example. So I want, when something is working, I want this to be loaded, this one to be displayed, and when it is done, I want this to be disappeared. So I can implement the same thing here, meaning, let's say if I go for the conditional rendering, right? In the conditional rendering, what it says, if true, then display this. Okay, so here also I'm writing, let's say if true this, and let's say a break. Break, line break, and then this one. Okay, so let's see how it works. This. Okay, so what I have done is, can you tell me, can any of you tell me what I have done here?
So when we click the checkbox, then the static resource should be loaded. So while loading that resource, the spinner will be
No.
will be
It is not
becoming.
like that. It is not like that. I mean, I have not made that one. I have not. Uh, uh, Made that logic. What I'm saying is, I can use it. I can use this in many ways. But what I'm saying is, if the checkbox is true, this and this would be displayed. I mean, whatever I have inside this template would be displayed. Okay.
Yes.
Now, what I said is, I can use this button. I mean, I can use this spinner. let's say I have to get some data from external sources, some database or somewhere else outside Salesforce. It will take some time, 1 or 2 or 3 seconds, for example. So during that time, it might say yes, loading. Like let's say if I go here, I think deployed it already. If I go here and then so if I come here, right? If I go to the opportunity, if I click on the all opportunity, you see this doing, right? It was, you saw that one spinner, right? So why
Yes.
that spinner was displaying, because while I send a request to get all the data, I started the spinner, and when I rendered all the data, I stopped the spinner. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So what I'm doing here is, when I check, it will appear, and when I stop, I cannot stop because it is taking all the it took all my, so I have some problem in my coding. I have to take care this way. Because it hide everything else. I cannot even uncheck this one, right? So I have
I
to
think
make,
you can use the template after writing the if statement. I don't know I'm correct or not, but
no. See, that's not the point. I think I have to check whether I'm doing it rightly or not. But
okay.
uh, maybe this could be an issue. Because how I'm using the divs and everything else is something that I have to decide. Or maybe I have to make this portion in a different area altogether, right? So that is something I have to check. I'm not going to that, but you can do it. So soon as I click on this one, it will be like this. So the whole point is, I was trying to show you can use many of the component inside your component, base component inside your component. So then, so if you find anything in this static, in these resources, you use it. If you don't find, then you make your own. Okay, how do you make your own? Then you get the leverage. You leverage this lightning designing system and then create. Let's say if I want to create a table, so I will look for the grid, for example, and if I go to the grid, I'll see, this is my divs and classes that I should be using, like that. Okay, if I want to use the columns, like I can use this way. So that's how you can create your own custom component if it is not, if you cannot use any base component from there, and you can use different divs, HTML elements from here, because there are SLDS defined in this lightning designing system. So if tomorrow, if they change the style inside their styling, it will reflect in my style. Okay, so it will look similar across the application. Okay. Okay. So we'll go through this one and then we'll wrap up today. The next concept is Lightning Data Service. Lightning Data Service is again a service which talks with the which talks about the data inside the Salesforce. Okay, so you cannot directly get the data from the server. You either have to write Apex class or other mechanism. So Lightning Data Service is another mechanism which gets data through the user interface API. So you don't have to think about this one. We would be using the Lightning Data Service which is given, and then this internally connects to the server through the UI user interface API and then gets the data. There are three different way you can use the lightning based component. One is the lightning record form, one is the edit, one is for the view. So lightning record form is something where you don't have much flexibility. It can be used both for create, view, and edit. But it does not give you much flexibility in terms of uh, arranging the columns the way you wanted. So you see this one, custom layout for fields, right? So this is not there in the record form, but it's there in the edit and view form. Custom rendering of the record data is also there, but it's not there. So if you want to do some advanced custom rendering, in that case the lightning record form cannot give you. But if it is a straightforward edit, view, create with the standard layout that is given by Salesforce, you can use the lightning record form, or else you have to use the lightning record edit form or the view form. These are all same. It is these two are the extension of this lightning record form, but you have to see when this can be used and how. So how it is used? So when I say record form is always works on a given record. I repeat, record form is always works on a single record. If you want to create or want to view or want to edit, it is on one single record only. Okay. So example is what? How do we write? We write like this: lightning record form. What is the record ID? So 001 means what?
Account.
Any Salesforce ID 001 means account, right?
Yes.
And you have to specify the object API name is also account, and which layout you want to see. It is a full layout, means it will show the whole page layout, or a compact layout. Okay. And what mode you want to look. So let us get an example. How can we see this? So I think I have an example here. Okay. If you see this example, right? So let me create one. And record form. So see, what I'm doing is I have to get the API here. Okay. And here, this is the UI API. UI API where I'm trying to import. So from Salesforce schema, I am trying to import. This is my object and this is my field. So if you go to the contact object, you will see all this one, right? So if I, let's say, go here and then look for the object manager and then look for the contact. The contact is my API name. That's why I am using contact as the API name. And if I go for the field, so you see the account name is, the field name is, API name is account ID. Name is this name. So title, phone number, like that I have. So what I have done is I have imported these fields. Okay. So now the next one is, what I'm doing is I'm declaring these two so I'm declaring these two API. One is record ID and one is the object API name. And I'm using a field variable, and in that field I'm declaring all the fields here. So name, account, name, title, phone, email, and everything. Okay. So this is what I declared. Now in my HTML, I'm using this lightning form record and using this field. What is that for? Experimental support for decoder is a feature that is subject to change in the future. That is okay. Okay. So this is my so it ran successfully. Now I think I have to expose this. And how do I expose? I have to expose this to the, because there is no point in exposing them into the home page. I will just expose this into my record program. So if I go to my contacts and then open, let's say, one contact, okay, and then edit my page. And bring my record. Okay. And then you come here. Oh, do I have to activate this one? have to activate this. So if I come here, yeah, do you see this account name, my name, title, phone number, email, all came, right? So if I want to, let's say, update the name and then hit say Andy1, I'm getting all these options. So it is giving you by default. Okay, you see, you are not doing much here. You have, if you see, I mean, why do I need that? Do I have I have everything here, but sometimes, you know, they want a quick they wanted to make a quick updates. If there are a lot of fields in the contact, for example, and then they wanted to make a quick update on the few important fields, in that case I might need this requirement. So it's a sort of quick update that you are doing. So see, understand this. The object API record ID, have I defined anywhere? The record ID and the object ID, object API name, have I assigned anywhere?
No.
No, right? But still it is getting, because from this record page, Salesforce is understanding that it is into the contact object, okay, and it is recording it is reading the record ID. So this component this component is intelligent enough to know whether it is reading from the contact record and has a contact ID. Okay. Now you see, I have to be careful because I have made this component very specific to contact, right? So if you look at this one, this is my all contact, right? All contact field. So my schema is contact. Everything I'm using from the contact. So I have to make sure that I use this component in the contact record only. So now if I want to go to account and then try to use, it will not understand. If I go for edit page and click on the record form, it is not understanding, though it is trying to read the account name and the phone, but the rest of the fields are not there. So if I activate, it is not a valid component to be used for sure. See, this is my account name and the phone number, because the phone number and the account name is matching for this account. That's why it is showing up, but rest of the things are not showing up. Actually, this is not a valid component to be used here. If I come here, see, the phone number is different, account name is different. So this is the right component to be used. And also you see, because I'm using the lightning data service, right? As soon as I change this name, okay, it will reflect everywhere else. You see the contact name and everywhere, right? As soon as I change this one, it will immediately reflect to this account, and here also detail. For example, Mr. So look at this name and look at this contact. You will see as soon as I hit the save, it will update it and then it will reflect everywhere else. Do you see this one? 2 and 2. So that is the beauty of the Lightning Data Service. I mean, it is a service which is publishing all the updates into all other component. You can think of this, all these are a different component. And that's how the updates are being made.
Suman, I think I'm a bit confused about how we are using it in the JS and the HTML. Can you quickly once
Yeah.
reiterate that?
Sure. So here I'm not doing much. Lightning record form, and I'm giving the object API name, record IDs, and the fields. So what is the object API name and the record ID is defined as a API here. Sorry. It is defined as an API here. Okay. And this API is automatically converted from the page the component is in. So I mean, initially earlier, remember, I had to provide the value of the API attribute, right? But here, if I'm not mentioning anything, so and I'm using directly here, that's why it is reading from this URL contact and the ID. Okay, so understand this one, because this is a LDS and I'm using it in the contact record. It is trying to read the API and assigning it from the context it is in. So I can do another thing also. So I can use this hello world and then I can use the record form and then pass the record ID here also. Okay, so let's say object name. I will not do much here. Object name, for example, and then I will just do it. Look at this. Okay, so see if I go here and then refresh it, right? It is displaying. Why it is displaying? Because this component knows that knows the context where the component is in. So this component knows that I am in the contact record page and the object is the contact and the record ID is this. Clear?
Yes.
Now let's say I want to this from the hello world. Okay. So what I'll do is, let me copy this. So let's say I want to use it from the hello world. Where is my hello world? Hello world. Okay. So here, let's say, what will I do is C hyphen record form. Okay. Here, and what are the record ID and the object name, right? So object name equal to contact, for example, okay, and the record ID equal to this one, same record. Okay, is that clear?
Yes.
Yes.
I think record ID. Why it is giving me an error? Might be giving me- let me check.
I
Because
guess
it,
we would need to write record dash small I D.
oh, sorry, yeah, you are right. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying. So see what now understand from this. So here what I'm doing is I'm calling this record form and then passing the object name as contact and then record ID as this. Okay. Now when it goes here, okay, and look at the JS. So I have assigned this one, and through that ID it is fetching the values from the record and then displaying those field into my screen. Okay. So now if I go here, unknown, this looks like, okay, object, what object name? Object name is the direct name. Why it is this is right,
Uh,
right?
is it because we are exposing the record form for
Yeah,
only record page?
that could be one reason I was thinking, but what I'm thinking is uh, that could be one of the reason, but uh, I feel that because we are not exposing yet. I mean, we are not exposing to the. Let me try. So, and you were right. So it was only exposed to my it was only exposed to my record page. I did that intentionally so that you guys understand. It was only exposed to my record page, and as I am exposing this to my home page, that's why it is appearing. Okay. So from my home page, I am calling the contact with this record, and then the record is displayed in my home page. And then I can make update. Let's say if I now let's say Andy only, and then save, it will be reflected. So this is the data service. Now I think it would be tough if I continue more, but next tomorrow I will do some more detail on this one. But is this understandable now? Any question from this one?
Suman, I have a question. So
Yeah.
let's say if we want to see fields from maybe contact, account, and opportunity.
Okay.
So can we do it the same way? Like we would import the field and use it the same way, or is it
Absolutely,
possible?
absolutely you can do, but you have to strategize how you want to do. I mean, do you want to see the contact, opportunity, and account together?
Maybe for example, let's say I want to show two fields from contact under the heading contact, then two fields of account under the heading account, uh, something like that. But I'm confused because we are using a single object name and we
Yeah,
are
yeah.
using.
You tell me. I mean, even if you are not using here, Can you tell me the same thing through the Apex? What will you do if you want to, let's say, write SOQL? How what you would like to do to
So
fulfill the requirement?
so I
Relationship is
yes. So either we can use a single sockle to fetch various records, or
How
maybe we can use
how
three.
how you can use a single SOQL?
So let's say we have child contacts in the account. So we will use maybe select ID name comma in bracket inner query. So maybe we can get the records for these two.
So you mean to say you will do inner query from the account object?
Yes, and then we can use the map or list to differentiate the.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. So now there are, if you do that, right, I mean, in that case, then I mean, think from that perspective. So what you just mentioned is very well example that we can talk. So you are saying is I'll do like this: select name, and then again select first name, mm, last name. Don't, I mean, it is just an pseudo software. Don't mark it the exact. Okay, last name from contact, and again select, let's say, name, amount, opportunity, right? From account where ID equal to 0, like this, right? You are saying?
Yes.
Okay. So now, if that is the case, then which context you are in from this query? Tell me where you are at to make this query. From which
Um,
object context you are making the query?
for account contact,
From
account object.
object context, right?
Yes.
So which means what will you get? You will get one account record, but you can get many contact records.
Yes.
Okay, but what did I mention about the LDS? It works on LDS, Lightning Data Service, and Lightning Record Form, right? What does record form means?
works on single record.
Works on single record. So if your account is giving you many contacts and many opportunities, then this may not be a valid scenario for
Okay.
using the account record.
Okay. And one more thing. Let's say
Yeah.
we have a custom object named as sample. Okay,
Okay.
and I want to show 20 so I have 20 fields on that object, and I want to show all the fields from that object in my this thing LWC using this.
Right. Right. So I mean, there are many ways. I mean, you probably have to mention all 20 fields, but
Okay.
let's see if they have exposed anything where I don't need to mention anything. I mean, the full means, if the mode is full, then that means mm, you can see all the, sorry, the compact specifying folders. Yeah, do you see this one? I have not mentioned full here, so let's use this one. Okay, let's say if I go to my record page, okay, Okay, let me create a new component. Account record. Okay, and then this. So here, let's say I do this, and then okay, so I just need to mention the account name, for example. Let's see. Give me one account name. This, and then I'll expose this in my. So what I have done is I just did my full layout, and this is, I have not mentioned any field. Let's see how it works. Is this your question, right?
Yes.
Yeah, let me see. Why it is not coming in? Save it. Account record. I have mentioned the target as home page too. Strange. Deploy. It is deployed. And I have the right target too. Yeah, account record. It takes some time. So now if I just put it here, for example. Okay, so you see, so you see all my fields came in based on the page layout that I'm on.
Yes.
So now if you, let's say if you want to make any changes, rating, let's say warm to hot, and then you save the field, it will save it. Now, so this is my account, right? If I now go to my account page and then look at this, I'll go see the deal is hot deal. What is that? Yeah, so rating is hot now. So that's how you can make use of this one. And there are, I mean, you guys have to look at it. There are many ways. I mean, you can make it read only also. You can do one column, or you can do. I mean, this is the full view I have given. So you can have a compact view also. So based on, and you can have two column view also, right? So based on what is your requirement, you can play, but you don't have much, much control on the I mean, on the rendering. I mean, it can be full or compact. It can be one column or two column. But if you want to have a different look and feel and everything, right? So that you cannot do in this mode. For that, you have to use the edit or view mode. That will show it, and that we will see in our next session. Okay. But so far, is that clear to all of you?
Yes.
Please, I request you, please look at the slide. It is shared with you, and look at all these GitHub things that I have uploaded in these examples, so that you can take a look and then work accordingly. Okay.
Okay.
Someone,
Okay.
I had one more question.
Yeah,
Sorry.
tell me.
I just wanted to know the use of lightning card. So can you go to our record page once again? Yeah.
Record.
So yeah,
This
this
is
one.
not record. This is a
So
home page.
okay, so I just wanted to see this component we just developed. So as we are having this no background and we are just displaying the fields, right? So is the use of lightning card to show a white background behind this?
No, no. Lightning card has got a different purpose. If you look at many other components, right? I mean, uh, see, these are all cards, and in the card you can use many things. So yeah, I mean, one way you can use the lightning card, but if you're using lightning card, then you have to provide the utility or the title as well, right? So lightning card is the card that Salesforce use for many purpose. Now
Okay.
you have to check. I mean, do you really need to use it or not? See, that background can be changed. If I apply some style, that can easily be changed. But
Okay. Okay.
that is not the purpose of the lightning card, to change things the way you are thinking. If you look at
Okay.
this one, right, even it has got footer, new, the body, this title and all, right, basic. Or if you go to the variant options, it has all these options, right? So I mean, Salesforce has made this for many ways to be used, but it is not what you are just telling. You can use
Okay.
that way, but there could be other mechanism that when you because this lightning card has been used across the Salesforce application in many different ways. So if you have a specific need that you have to display, you have to use this.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else, guys? Do you find this session helpful?
Yes, Suman.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Suman.
Yes.
Okay, great. Then I think everyone can drop. I think